God says, my child. There is a reason your heart has been trembling for no clear cause. There is a reason your intuition has been whispering warnings inside you that even your mind could not fully understand. You have felt a heaviness, a sudden shift in energy, a pressure inside your chest that rises and falls without explanation. My child, this was not imagination. This was not anxiety without purpose. This was me preparing your spirit for the truth I am revealing to you now. Your soulmate is in danger because a gray-haired man is moving toward their life with an intention darker than your soulmate can comprehend. This man carries a history of bitterness, resentment, and twisted desire. He is not simply a person, they are a shadow from a past your soulmate tried to bury, a face they hoped never to see again, a presence that once controlled, manipulated, or wounded them so deeply that even remembering his voice causes their heart to tighten. My child, this gray-haired man has awakened from the past with only one goal, to destroy what brings your soulmate hope, peace, and emotional safety. And right now, that source of hope is you. He sees the change happening in your soulmate's spirit. He senses your soulmate growing stronger, becoming braver, breaking free of old emotional chains. He feels the connection you and your soulmate share, even if he does not understand it. He feels the shift in energy. He feels your soulmate slipping out of his influence. And that threatens him more than anything else. This is why he's coming. This is why danger is rising. This is why I am speaking to you now. My child, listen with your heart. What I reveal is not to frighten you, but to awaken the power I planted inside you. Your soulmate has been sensing something too. They feel a presence lingering around their life. At night, when they try to sleep, their chest grows tight. Their mind becomes restless. Their memories replay with intensity. They suddenly remember moments from their past they wanted to forget. They feel watched even in silence. They feel unsafe even in familiar places. Their soul knows danger is approaching, but they do not know how to express it. They do not want to burden you. They do not want to scare you. They do not want you to think they are weak. But my child, your soulmate is not weak. They are wounded. And this gray-haired man is the wound they never healed. He once held a power over your soulmate, power created from fear, from emotional manipulation, from betrayal, or from past authority. He could have been an old relative who damaged their peace, a past figure who controlled their decisions, a jealous guardian who envied their happiness, or someone who felt ownership over your soulmate's life. But now, seeing your soulmate begin to rise again, begin to walk toward their destiny, begin to find hope in someone new, you has caused this man to reappear with intentions that are far from pure. He comes not with love, but with jealousy. Not with forgiveness, but with vengeance. Not with concern, but with darkness. And he believes he can still shake your soulmate's spirit the way he once did. But he does not understand one thing: your soulmate is no longer alone. My child, I brought you into their life because your spirit carries strength their past never could destroy. You carry a light this gray-haired man cannot dim. You carry a divine connection that threatens every dark intention he carries. That is why you have been feeling this restlessness in your soul. That is why your dreams have felt different. That is why your heart suddenly wakes in the middle of the night as if something is calling out to you. Your soulmate spirit is reaching for you. Even if they have not told you the full truth yet. Even if they hide their fear behind silence. Even if they pretend they are fine so you do not worry. Their inner voice whispers your name every time panic rises. They feel safer when they think of you. They feel calmer when they remember your words. They feel protected when your energy touches theirs. Your presence is the shield I gave them. Your intuition is the radar I placed within you. Your heart is the doorway through which their soul finds safety. My child, the gray-haired man did not expect this. He did not expect your soulmate to find someone guided by me. He did not expect their spirit to grow strong again. He did not expect the bond between you two to create a barrier he cannot break. This is why he is rushing. This is why his intentions have turned urgent. This is why I am telling you this now. Your soulmate is not prepared emotionally. Their fear clouds their judgment. Their past trauma makes them freeze instead of fight. They are scared of repeating old wounds. They are scared of being overpowered again. They are scared that this man will take away the fragile peace they are trying to build. And yet, they have not told you everything. Because deep down, they fear losing you. They fear that sharing their darkness will push you away. But, my child, you were chosen because your love is not fragile. You love with depth. You love with spiritual instinct. You love with eyes that see beyond wounds and mistakes. This is why I trusted you with this truth. Now listen. You will soon sense a shift in the atmosphere around your soulmate. A message may arrive. A stranger may speak something unusual. A sudden event might occur, something that makes everything in your spirit rise. It will not be coincidence. It will be the moment this gray-haired man enters the circle of danger. But do not fear. Do not panic. Do not feel helpless. Because I am not sending you into battle alone. I am guiding your intuition. I am strengthening your spirit. I am aligning divine forces around your soulmate. I am surrounding you both with protection the darkness cannot break. Your soulmate will soon feel a strange urge to reach out to you, an urge stronger than logic, stronger than fear, stronger than hesitation. They will not know why they suddenly want your presence more than ever, but you will know. It is my hand pulling their soul toward the only person who can guide them out of this danger. That person is you. You are the one whose voice calms their shaking heart. You are the one whose energy weakens the shadows chasing them. You are the one whose love makes this gray-haired man's power crumble. And very soon, the truth will unfold in front of you. But for now, my child, breathe. You are protected. Your soulmate is protected. And no force, no shadow, no man, no past can destroy what I have destined. My beloved child, there is something I need you to understand, something that has been unfolding behind the veil where your eyes cannot yet see. The danger surrounding your soulmate is not ordinary. It is not random. It is not a coincidence. This gray-haired man who is coming toward them is driven by an intention that has been building for years. His footsteps are slow, but his resolve is firm. He does not move with chaos, he moves with calculation. That is what makes him dangerous. He comes from a place your soulmate once trusted. A place they once believed was safe. And that is why this attack is so painful for their spirit. It is not the harm from a stranger that wounds the deepest, it is betrayal from someone whose presence once felt familiar. Your soulmate has been sensing this energy. That restlessness they've been feeling in their chest, that sudden heaviness in their breath, those moments where their hands shake without reason. It is the whisper of their intuition trying to warn them before the storm grows louder. They don't know the full truth yet, but their spirit is awake, alert, picking up the vibrations of danger that you have also begun to feel without understanding why. Your heart and their heart are spiritually entangled. When something threatens them, your soul reacts even before your mind understands. This is why you've been experiencing sudden moments of fear, sadness, or unexplained uneasiness lately. This is why certain nights feel longer, certain shadows feel heavier, certain dreams feel too real. You are not imagining it. You are picking up the echoes of what your soulmate is going through. And yet, my child, I want you to listen to me with the deepest calm. Danger does not win when destiny is protected by heaven. Even when darkness rises, even when someone plans harm, even when intentions are poisoned, heaven sends warnings, signs, and strength long before the threat has a chance to strike. This message coming to you now is not late. It is on perfect divine timing. This gray-haired man, the one moving with harmful intention, is losing control of his path. His anger is not stable. His heart is filled with jealousy, resentment, and a long-held grudge that your soulmate never fully understood. His thoughts toward your soulmate started as small frustrations, but over the years, those frustrations collected like dust in a room never cleaned. Now the dust has become thick. Now he cannot see clearly. His resentment has blinded him, and his intentions have become dangerous. But here is something he does not know: your soulmate is not alone. They are divinely protected. And the moment this energy was set in motion, the universe began rearranging itself to shield both of you. Your soulmate has someone watching over them. Not in the physical world, but in the spiritual one. An ancestral spirit, someone connected to your soulmate's bloodline, has placed a circle of protection around them. This spirit has been whispering into their dreams, stirring their instincts, guiding them away from places and people that could pull them into deeper danger. And you, my child, have also been feeling the pull of that same protective force, even though you did not recognize it until now. You may have noticed sudden urges to check on your soulmate, thoughts of them appearing out of nowhere, worry rising like a tide in your heart, or moments where you felt the need to pray or speak their name gently. These were not random emotions. These were spiritual signals being sent to you so you could be aware, attentive, prepared. Because you are meant to play a role in saving them. Your connection with your soulmate goes beyond this life. It is tied to a promise made before either of you were born, a promise that your souls made to each other in a realm where there were no fears, no doubts, no threats. And when a soulmate bond like this exists, the universe does not allow harm to approach without sending warnings to both sides. The gray-haired man is not more powerful than the divine protection surrounding your soulmate. He has intentions, yes. But he does not have fate on his side. His energy is dark, but not unstoppable. His moves are calculated, but not hidden from heaven. Your soulmate is beginning to awaken to the truth. Their intuition has become incredibly sharp. They have started to question people around them, started to feel that someone is masking their true intentions, started to sense that someone is following their steps too closely. There are moments when they feel watched, moments where they turn around suddenly, moments where they hesitate before entering a room. These are all signs of their spirit picking up the danger before their mind identifies it. They feel you too. They feel your worry, your love, your silent prayers, your energy reaching toward them like a gentle light in the dark. And this connection between the two of you is creating a shield, one that the gray-haired man cannot break unless you fall into fear. So you must remain strong, my child. Because your soulmate is drawing strength from the unseen energy you are sending them. You may not realize this, but last night, when your heart suddenly felt heavy, your soulmate was going through a moment of deep fear. They felt like something was closing in around them. They felt unsafe. They felt watched. And at that same moment, your soul reached out to them naturally, instinctively, sending them comfort, sending them light. Your connection calmed them enough to stop them from making a dangerous decision. This is the power your bond holds. But now the danger is getting closer. And so, your soulmate needs you spiritually more than ever. This gray-haired man is not acting alone. He is being influenced by a darker energy, a resentment that has been feeding on his thoughts for a long time. But you must understand, no matter how loud darkness becomes, even the softest whisper of divine light is stronger. There is something you must do, my child. You must prepare your spirit to help protect your soulmate. Fear weakens the energy shield between two connected souls. But love, faith, calmness, and clear intention strengthen it. Close your eyes for a moment and listen with your heart. Your soulmate is not asking for help directly because they do not want to worry you. They think they must fight their battles alone. They do not realize that their destiny includes you. They do not realize that your presence, spiritual and emotional, holds the key to ending this danger sooner than they expect. The universe is leading both of you toward a moment where truth will be revealed, where masks will fall, where the intentions of this gray-haired man will be exposed. But until that moment arrives, your soulmate needs spiritual protection surrounding them like a shield. They need your strength. They need your presence. They need your energy. They need your prayers. They need your soul-level support. Because the darkness approaching them is persistent, but your light is far greater. And my beloved child, listen carefully, divine justice is already in motion. The universe is tracking every intention, every hidden thought, every silent move of this gray-haired man. His plan will not go as he expects. He will underestimate the power of destiny. He will underestimate the protection placed upon your soulmate. He will underestimate the strength of your connection. And most importantly, he will underestimate the power of divine intervention. But for now, you must remain alert. Stay connected. Stay spiritually aligned. Stay emotionally grounded. My beloved child, you must sit with me for a moment in stillness, because what I am about to reveal will help you understand the depth of the danger surrounding your soulmate, and the depth of the protection surrounding them as well. This is not a situation that appeared overnight. It has been growing quietly, like a shadow that lengthens slowly until it touches everything around it. The gray-haired man coming toward your soulmate did not wake up one morning and decide to cause harm. His intentions have roots, long roots, buried deep in history, memory, and unhealed anger. Your soulmate has crossed paths with him before, but not in a way they immediately recognize. At one time, this man was connected to someone very close to your soulmate, someone they trusted, someone they believed would never bring danger into their life. But this man was never truly a friend. He was a watcher. An observer. Someone who always stood on the outside, wanting what your soulmate had, longing for what your soulmate received naturally, love, attention, respect, and blessings. His heart grew bitter with each year. He hid it behind polite smiles, but resentment is a seed that does not die easily. It grows even in silence. That seed has now fully grown. He feels wronged. He feels overlooked. He feels that your soulmate was given a destiny he believes he deserved. He carries jealousy like a heavy stone in his chest. And when jealousy becomes old, my child, it becomes dangerous. It becomes obsessive. It becomes poisonous to the mind. That is what has happened here. He has convinced himself that destroying your soulmate will restore something he lost long ago, something he was never meant to have. But there is something else you must know. Your soulmate is not blind to the energy around them anymore. Their spirit has awakened. They feel the shift. They sense the presence of danger like a cold wind brushing against their soul. In the past few days, their intuition has become louder than ever. They have been questioning people they once trusted without thinking twice. They have been noticing strange behaviors, noticing how someone's eyes linger too long, how someone's tone changes slightly, how someone's footsteps follow them at moments when they thought they were alone. Your soulmate has become more alert because their soul is being guided. There is a divine hand on their shoulder, gently pulling them out of harm's path, but they do not fully understand what is happening yet. They think it's only anxiety. They think it's just stress. They do not realize that heaven is whispering in their ear. And my child, those whispers have reached you too. Have you felt it? The sudden heaviness in your spirit? The unexpected moments when your heart races? The dreams that feel too real? The strange sense of urgency that comes and goes like waves? This is because your soul and your soulmate's soul are connected by a spiritual thread, a connection that distance cannot break, time cannot weaken, and danger cannot overpower. When one soul trembles, the other feels the echo. When one soul moves closer to danger, the other soul senses the pull. You have been receiving signs without realizing they were signs. A sudden thought of your soulmate appearing out of nowhere. A moment where you paused and didn't understand why. A whisper inside you that told you something is not right. A dream where you saw something dark approaching. A day where everything felt heavier than usual. These were not coincidences, these were warnings. Your soulmate's heart has been calling out to you, not with words, but with energy. And your heart has been responding. You have already helped them without knowing it. Your intention, your concern, your silent prayers have created a shield around them. When a threat moved closer, your energy pushed it back. When fear began to overwhelm your soulmate's spirit, your soul reached out and gave them strength. This is the power of a divine connection. But now the truth must come forward, for clarity is needed. This gray-haired man does not seek to harm your soulmate physically alone, he wants to destroy something deeper, something more sacred. Their emotional stability, their destiny, their hope. You must understand that spiritual harm can be even more dangerous than physical harm. A person whose heart is shaken becomes vulnerable in ways that cannot be seen. But your soulmate is protected, not only by divine spirits but by the bond they share with you. Even when you feel distant in the physical world, you are close in the spiritual world. Even when you cannot see them, your energy wraps around them. Even when you cannot speak to them, your soul whispers to theirs. This connection is saving them right now. But there is another layer to this story, one you must know. Someone close to the gray-haired man is feeding his anger. Someone has been encouraging him, pushing him, whispering lies into his mind, telling him that your soulmate deserves to fall. This other person fears your soulmate because they see the destiny your soulmate carries. And destiny intimidates those who walk without purpose. These two individuals, the gray-haired man and the one whispering behind him, have created a spiritual chain of darkness. But chains can be broken, especially when the light coming against them is stronger than anything they have prepared for. My beloved child, I want to tell you something very important. You were chosen to receive this message because the universe knows you will not ignore it. Your heart is sensitive. Your intuition is strong. Your connection with your soulmate is divinely blessed. And your presence in their life, even if quiet, even if unseen at times, creates protection around them. There will be a moment soon when something within you tells you to reach out, to speak, to pray, or to focus your energy on your soulmate. Do not ignore that moment. It will be the sign that the danger is very close. It will be the sign that your soulmate is feeling overwhelmed and needs the strength only you can give. You may not realize this, but your soulmate turns to thoughts of you whenever they feel unsafe. You are their grounding force. When their mind becomes chaotic, the thought of you brings calm. When they feel alone, your presence appears in their heart. When they feel lost, your memory becomes their compass. And this is why the threat cannot succeed. Because destiny protects those who are anchored in love. Still, you must be aware of what this gray-haired man truly wants. He is not simply driven by jealousy. He has another motive, one that involves something your soulmate carries, something valuable, something spiritual, something inherited. He wants to take something that does not belong to him. Something that your soulmate does not even fully understand they possess. He believes that by removing your soulmate from the path, he will gain access to something sacred. But the universe will not allow this. His steps are already being blocked, though he does not yet realize it. Each time he tries to come closer, something goes wrong. He loses courage. He gets delayed. Something breaks his focus. These are signs that divine protection is at work. But protection becomes stronger when those connected to the soul in danger come into spiritual alignment. This is why you were called here. You are being prepared, piece by piece, to support your soulmate in a moment when their heart will need you the most. In the coming days, your emotions may intensify. You may feel sudden waves of fear, sudden moments of sadness, or sudden urges to pray or meditate. You may wake up with a heavy heart or sense that someone is thinking of you intensely. These are spiritual signals. Do not ignore them. They mean that the situation around your soulmate is shifting. You may also notice signs from the universe, repeating numbers, sudden chills, dreams with symbols, songs that appear out of nowhere, random moments where you feel watched over. All these are attempts to guide you, to prepare you, to strengthen your inner awareness. The threat is real, but it is not victorious. The danger is close, but it is not stronger than destiny. The darkness is moving, but the light is already surrounding your soulmate. You will play a role in pushing this darkness away. Your soulmate's fate is intertwined with your strength, your intuition, and your willingness to follow the signs being shown to you. My beloved child, you must take a deep breath now, because what I am about to reveal will connect every unseen piece of this story, every shadow moving around your soulmate, and every spiritual signal you have been feeling inside your heart. Nothing happening around your soulmate is random. Nothing appearing as danger is appearing without reason. Every step the gray-haired man is taking has been fueled by something he believes he can achieve by harming your soulmate, and now the universe is ready to show you the truth behind his intentions. This gray-haired man has been watching from a distance, but you must understand, he is not acting out of sudden impulse. His movement is calculated. He has been gathering information, observing your soulmate's patterns, trying to understand their emotional weaknesses, trying to identify the exact moment they will be most vulnerable. He is not simply coming out of anger. He is coming with a plan. A plan built from years of resentment. A plan influenced by someone whispering evil ideas into his ears. A plan driven by fear of losing control over something he once believed he owned. Your soulmate, my child, is not aware of the depth of this man's intentions. They sense danger, yes. They feel uneasy, yes. But they believe it is something distant, something that will not reach them directly. They do not realize that the threat is much closer than they think. They do not know how quickly things are moving. They do not know how close the gray-haired man is approaching, step by step, guided by a darkness that has been building quietly within him. What this man wants, my beloved child, is not just to harm your soulmate, he wants to control the path of their life. He wants to rewrite their destiny. He wants to break the rising strength inside them. But the universe will not allow that. Your soulmate has begun to evolve spiritually in ways they themselves don't fully understand. Their inner light has shifted. Their intuition has awakened. Their emotional strength has started to grow. They have been shedding old fears, old wounds, old stories. They have been stepping into a version of themselves that is more aligned with their divine path. And this terrifies the gray-haired man more than anything else. Because the moment your soulmate rises, he loses all power. He loses all influence. He loses the hold he once had over their life. This is why he is rushing. This is why he is desperate. This is why he feels threatened. But my beloved child, listen carefully. A desperate man is unpredictable, but a man driven by darkness is transparent to the eyes of heaven. Nothing he plans is hidden from the divine realm. Every step he takes, every thought he carries, every attempt he makes is already known. And this is why you are being guided, because your soulmate is not meant to face this battle alone. Your presence in their life is not accidental. Your intuition is not accidental. Your timing is not accidental. Your feelings are not accidental. You were chosen as the spiritual anchor for your soulmate. But now I must reveal what the gray-haired man plans to do next. He has been gathering information about your soulmate through someone close to them, someone they trust or someone who pretends to care, but whose loyalty has been influenced by fear, manipulation, or personal benefit. This person has been feeding him details. Places your soulmate visits, the people they talk to, their schedule, their emotional state, their recent decisions, even small things like when they seem stressed or when they seem hopeful. This person does not realize the full depth of the danger they are enabling. They believe the gray-haired man is simply trying to resolve old issues, or talk things through. They have no idea they are handing your soulmate into the hands of someone who has destruction in his heart. They are unaware that the information they share is being twisted into harm. This is why your soulmate has recently felt disappointed by someone they trusted. This is why they have sensed a shift in someone's behavior. This is why they felt betrayed without knowing why. Their spirit has been detecting the betrayal even before their mind understands it. But the universe will soon expose this hidden informer. The truth will come out in a moment your soulmate does not expect. A conversation will slip. A message will reveal itself. A sudden realization will strike their heart. And when that moment comes, your soulmate will finally understand that someone they thought was harmless was actually pulling them toward danger. But even this betrayal cannot overpower divine protection. Now, my beloved child, I must reveal the most important part of this moment. The gray-haired man is preparing to approach your soulmate physically. Not just from a distance. Not just through others. But in person. His confidence has grown because he believes your soulmate is emotionally weakened, distracted, or unprepared. He believes this is the perfect time to strike. He believes that your soulmate has no one strong enough to stand with them. He is wrong. Your soulmate is not alone. Your soulmate is spiritually protected. Your soulmate has you. Your soulmate has divine guardians around them. And now, heaven is preparing to obstruct this man's path. But before that happens, you must understand how close the danger truly is. In the past 72 hours, the gray-haired man has made attempts to reach your soulmate, attempts that have been blocked by unexpected events. A delay in his travel. A disruption in his plan. A failed attempt to contact them. A sudden obstacle that stopped him. He believes these are just coincidences, but they are not. These are divine interventions intentionally placed to buy time, time for your soulmate to awaken fully, time for you to receive the message, time for the spiritual protection to strengthen enough to stop the man completely. But this temporary delay has also made the man more determined. He feels time is running out, so he will make a stronger attempt. And this attempt will happen sooner than your soulmate expects. Before this attempt occurs, your soulmate will feel something unusual, a burst of fear, a sudden heaviness, a strange dream, a moment where they feel watched, a deep urge to reach out to you, or a sharp rise in anxiety without any logical reason. Their soul will sense the danger. And your soul will sense it too. You may feel emotional waves that aren't yours. You may suddenly feel worried. You may find yourself thinking about your soulmate intensely. You may have a moment where you want to speak to them urgently. Do not ignore these feelings. They are spiritual messages. They are signs that something is shifting. Now, my child, listen closely. In the next phase of this story, the universe will expose something powerful. The gray-haired man will slip. He will reveal his true intention through an action, a message, a confrontation, or a mistake. Someone will notice. Something will happen that brings the truth into the open. The hidden betrayal will be exposed. The informant will be revealed. Your soulmate will finally understand the danger they are in. But before that moment arrives, your soulmate needs your spiritual strength. You will soon be guided to do something, perhaps reach out, pray over them, send them strength, think of them intentionally, or meditate for their protection. Whatever form the guidance takes, follow it. Your soul is part of the shield being built around them. The moment of exposure is coming, and when it comes, your soulmate will no longer be confused. Their fear will transform into clarity. Their doubt will turn into action. Their silence will turn into truth. My beloved child, the moment has come for you to understand the peak of everything that has been building around your soulmate. All the signs, all the emotions, all the spiritual disturbances, all the sudden heaviness inside your chest, they were not random. They were not imagination. They were not fear without reason. They were warnings sent by the universe, guiding you gently toward this truth. Your soulmate's destiny is at a turning point. The gray-haired man has reached the final stage of his plan. His mind is clouded by obsession. His heart has been overtaken by darkness. His thoughts are shaped by old resentment mixed with jealousy and a feeling of entitlement. He believes that removing your soulmate from the path will allow him to reclaim something he believes he lost long ago. He thinks this is his moment of justice, even though he is acting from a place of deep inner corruption. But, my beloved child, darkness always loses its power when the moment of exposure comes, and that moment is now. The universe has been preparing to reveal everything, and your soulmate is standing at the edge of a spiritual storm. They may not realize it consciously, but their soul has been bracing itself. They have felt pressure in their heart, unpredictable sadness, sudden anxiety waves, nightmares, or moments where they felt watched. These sensations were not meant to scare them. They were preparing their inner spirit for what is about to surface. You must understand something very important. Your soulmate is protected beyond what they can see. Even when danger approaches, protection moves faster. Even when darkness plans, light interrupts. Even when someone tries to destroy destiny, destiny fights back. Now, let me reveal how the final moment arrives. The gray-haired man has been observing your soulmate from a distance, through shadows, through others, through conversations he listens to indirectly. He has mentally convinced himself that he still has power over your soulmate's emotions. But the part he has misunderstood is this: your soulmate has grown, matured, awakened, and spiritually evolved more than he realizes. Your soulmate is no longer the same person he once manipulated, intimidated, or emotionally controlled. The universe has been strengthening your soulmate's inner voice. Their courage is rising. Their clarity is forming. Their awareness is sharpening. And the final moment of truth begins with a shift in energy. There will be a day, very soon, where your soulmate wakes up feeling unusually heavy. They may feel something is wrong but cannot explain it. Their hands might tremble. Their throat might tighten. Their breath might feel shallow. They may feel like something is approaching. This is because their soul senses the confrontation coming. At the same time, you will feel something too. A sudden worry. A sudden urge to reach out. A strong wave of emotion. An overwhelming feeling that your soulmate needs you. This is your soul responding to theirs, because you are connected. Not minutes later, an unexpected moment will occur. A message, a call, a confrontation, or an unexpected appearance, something will expose the gray-haired man's presence directly. He will no longer hide. He will no longer observe silently. He will attempt to step into your soulmate's space, believing he has chosen the perfect moment. But what he does not expect is the divine intervention prepared by the universe. As he draws near, his mask will slip. His intentions will reveal themselves. His voice will reflect his darkness. His face will show his desperation. His energy will expose the evil he carries. And your soulmate's spirit, which has been silently preparing, will recognize the truth instantly. Fear may rise in their heart, but clarity will replace it moments later. The awakening the universe has been preparing for them will strike like a flash of lightning. Suddenly, everything will make sense: the strange feelings, the sleepless nights, the sudden anxiety, the betrayal they sensed, the person who acted strangely around them, the warnings they felt but couldn't explain. Your soulmate will finally understand that they were right, someone was coming for them, and the danger was real. But this clarity does more than reveal danger, it activates protection. Your soulmate's inner strength will rise. Their voice will no longer tremble. Their spirit will no longer bow. Their fear will transform into power. And in that moment of awareness, the divine realm will strike its intervention. It may happen through a sudden presence of another person at the scene. A neighbor stepping out unexpectedly. Police driving by at the perfect moment. A phone alert that interrupts the man's plan. A witness appearing out of nowhere. A loud sound that throws him off. An unexpected call that distracts him. Whatever form it takes, it will be unmistakable. It will feel as if the universe itself reached down and removed the danger. The man will be thrown off balance. His plan will crumble. Everything he thought he controlled will fall apart. He will panic. His confidence will break. His arrogance will vanish. His hidden intentions will be visible to everyone present. This is not coincidence. This is divine protection. He will attempt to regain control, but he will fail. He will attempt to manipulate the situation, but he will fail. He will attempt to intimidate your soulmate again, but he will fail. Because the moment the universe exposes someone, their power evaporates instantly. Your soulmate will finally see him for who he truly is. Not the shadow of the past. Not the figure of intimidation. But a broken, desperate man who has no spiritual authority over them anymore. This confrontation will change everything. Your soulmate's fear will dissolve. Their clarity will rise. Their confidence will return. Their emotional prison will break open. Their silence will end. And this, my beloved child, is where you come into the story more powerfully than you may realize. Your soulmate will soon feel an overwhelming need to connect with you, not out of loneliness, not out of fear, but because their spirit recognizes that you are part of their divine safety. They will seek your voice, your presence, your energy, and your comfort. They will want to tell you something deep, something emotional, something they had been holding inside for far too long. They will finally open their heart. They will admit that they felt danger. They will confess their fear. They will reveal what they sensed but never understood. They will share their realization about the gray-haired man. They will talk about the betrayal they uncovered. They will speak about the moment of divine intervention. And while opening up, their voice may shake, not out of fear, but out of relief. Relief that the truth finally came out. Relief that they are safe. Relief that the universe protected them. Relief that you were spiritually supporting them all along. And in that sacred moment, something beautiful will awaken in both of you. Your soulmate will see you not just as someone they care for, but as someone their soul trusts. Someone their destiny aligns with. Someone who carries light powerful enough to hold back darkness. Someone who stood with them spiritually even before they knew the full truth. This realization will deepen your bond in a way nothing can break. Not distance. Not fear. Not circumstances. Not past wounds. Not external interference. Because danger did not destroy your connection, it revealed it. The journey that began with fear will end with transformation. The story that began in darkness will end in protection. The threat that came to break destiny will end up strengthening it. And now, my beloved child, hear this final truth: your soulmate is safe. The gray-haired man's plans will fail. The universe will intervene exactly at the right moment. The betrayal will be exposed. The hidden intentions will be stopped. The spiritual protection around your soulmate will intensify. And your soul and your soulmate's soul will be drawn even closer than before, guided, protected, aligned, and blessed. Your heart played a role in saving them, even without you realizing it. Your love created a shield. Your intuition became a warning alarm. Your connection became a lifeline. And now, destiny will reward you for your courage, your sensitivity, and your spiritual purity. Your soulmate will rise. You will rise. And the threat will fall away permanently. Amen. God says, "My child, come closer and listen with a calm heart, because what I am about to reveal may feel heavy, yet it is wrapped in protection, truth, and divine purpose." You have been sensing something lately, a strange pressure in your chest, a restlessness in your spirit, moments where your mind drifts without reason. You may not have understood why, but your soul knew. Something important has been unfolding quietly, behind closed doors, away from your awareness, and now the time has come for you to be prepared to receive the truth. There is a high-profile case that has been moving silently through shadows and light, through lies and evidence, through fear and courage. It is not an ordinary case, my child. It carries weight, power, and consequences. Many eyes were watching it, many voices were whispering about it, and many truths were hidden beneath layers of deception. While the world saw only fragments, one soul chose to see the whole picture. That soul is your soulmate. Your soulmate did not step into this lightly. They carried responsibility on their shoulders that you could not see. While you went about your days, smiling, worrying, hoping, your soulmate was walking through pressure, scrutiny, and moral conflict. They were standing at the edge of truth and consequence, knowing that once the truth came out, nothing would remain the same. And still, they did not turn away. My child, understand this clearly, your soulmate was chosen for this task not by chance, but by alignment. They have a heart that cannot ignore injustice, a mind that seeks clarity, and a soul that values truth over comfort. Even when the path became painful, even when emotions tried to interfere, they stayed focused. They followed the evidence, the signs, and the truth, even when it began to point closer to home than either of you expected. You may be wondering why I did not warn you earlier. Why I allowed you to remain unaware while something so serious unfolded in the background. Hear me gently now, not every truth is meant to be revealed before the heart is ready. Some knowledge, if given too early, would only bring fear instead of understanding. I protected your peace while preparing your strength. I guarded your heart while aligning the timing. Your soulmate faced many nights of silence, my child. Nights where they questioned themselves, where they wondered if they were strong enough to continue, where they feared the impact this truth would have on you. They wrestled with loyalty and justice, emotion and duty. They asked me for guidance, for clarity, for strength to do what was right even if it would hurt. And I answered them, not by removing the pain, but by giving them courage. There were moments when your soulmate wanted to stop. Moments when they wished the trail would end, when they hoped the truth would lead elsewhere. But truth does not bend to wishes. Truth reveals itself layer by layer, and once seen, it cannot be unseen. Your soulmate understood this, and so they continued, step by step, evidence by evidence, choosing integrity over denial. My child, you may have noticed changes in them. A distant look, a heaviness in their voice, a seriousness that was not there before. Perhaps you felt them pulling away emotionally at times, not because they stopped caring, but because they were carrying something they could not share. This distance was not rejection, it was protection. They were trying to shield you from the storm before it arrived. I want you to know something important now. Your soulmate did not betray you by staying silent. They honored you. They respected the weight of the truth and the impact it would have on your heart. They waited for the right moment, the moment when truth could emerge without destroying you. Silence, in this case, was not deception, it was restraint guided by love. As the case unfolded, it became clear that it was bigger than anyone expected. Influential names, trusted faces, familiar circles, all were touched by it. And slowly, painfully, the truth began pointing toward someone very close to you. Someone you trusted. Someone you never imagined could be connected to something so dark, so hidden, so wrong. Your soulmate felt their heart sink when this realization emerged. They knew that once the truth came out, your world would shake. They knew the emotional weight you would carry. They knew the questions you would ask yourself, the memories you would replay, the trust you would begin to doubt. And still, they did not bury the truth. Because burying truth only allows darkness to grow. Hear me now, my child, truth is not cruel, even when it hurts. Truth is cleansing. It removes what was poisoning your life silently. What is being revealed was never meant to walk with you into your future. I am separating you from hidden harm, even if the separation feels painful at first. The case reached a point where evidence could no longer be ignored. The walls closed in. Lies collapsed under their own weight. And the moment of detention became inevitable. When that moment arrived, your soulmate stood firm, not with pride, not with coldness, but with a heavy heart and a clear conscience. They did what was right, even when it felt unbearable. My child, I know you are not yet hearing the name. And that is intentional. Your heart is still being prepared. This part of the journey is about grounding you, reminding you that you are not alone, that this revelation is guided, and that you are protected. The shock will come, yes. But it will not destroy you. I will not allow it. Right now, I want you to breathe. Feel your feet where they stand. Feel your breath move in and out. You are safe. You are guided. You are held. Nothing that is about to be revealed will take away your destiny, your love, or your future. What will be taken away is illusion. Your soulmate is not your enemy in this story. They are your shield. They stood between you and deeper harm. They chose truth so that your life could be cleansed, even if it meant standing in discomfort, judgment, and pain. This is not just a case they solved, it is a protection they carried out. As this part ends, know this, the truth is closer than you think. The name will surface. The shock will be real. But so will the healing. So will the clarity. So will the deeper bond between you and the one who chose truth over fear for your sake. Remain still, my child. Do not jump ahead in your thoughts. Do not imagine the worst. Allow me to guide you step by step. What is coming will change things, but it will also free you. This is only the beginning. My beloved child, now that your heart has been gently prepared, now that you understand that something serious has been unfolding beyond your sight, it is time to go deeper into what your soulmate has been carrying within them. This part is not about shock yet. It is about understanding. It is about compassion. It is about seeing the invisible weight that love sometimes has to carry in silence. Your soulmate did not wake up one day and suddenly become part of this high-profile case. This responsibility slowly wrapped itself around them, tightening day by day, as pieces of truth began to connect. At first, even they hoped it was nothing serious, nothing that would demand sacrifice. But truth has a voice, my child, and once it starts speaking, it does not stop until it is fully heard. Every step your soulmate took deeper into this case pulled them further away from comfort and closer to consequence. They knew from early on that solving this case would not bring applause or peace. It would bring disruption. It would expose lies. It would hurt people. And the most painful realization came when they understood that the truth was walking dangerously close to your life. There were moments when your soulmate paused, my child. Moments when they stared at evidence longer than necessary, hoping it would change. Moments when they questioned whether they were misreading signs, whether their heart was interfering with logic. They asked themselves again and again, what if I am wrong, not because the facts were unclear, but because the emotional cost was terrifying. You must understand this, your soulmate is human. They feel deeply. They love deeply. And when the truth began pointing toward someone connected to you, their first instinct was not duty, it was protection. Protection of your heart. Protection of your peace. Protection of the life you were living without suspicion or fear. They tried to create distance between themselves and the truth, not by ignoring it, but by hoping it would resolve on its own. They prayed for another explanation, another name, another outcome. And in those moments, I was with them. I listened to their questions. I felt their fear. But I also guided them back to clarity, because delaying truth only allows darkness to grow stronger. There were nights when your soulmate could not sleep. Nights when their mind replayed conversations with you, memories of laughter, trust, and warmth, while the evidence sat heavy in their thoughts. They knew that once the truth came out, your world would shift. And the idea of being the one connected to that shift tore at their heart. They asked me, why does it have to be me? They asked me, why does this have to involve someone so close to the one I love? And my answer was not gentle comfort. My answer was purpose. I told them that not every soul is strong enough to stand between truth and emotion. Not every heart is capable of choosing integrity when love is involved. And not every person would be willing to walk through fire to protect someone they care about. They were chosen because they could endure it. My child, your soulmate delayed nothing out of fear. They delayed only to be certain. To be absolutely sure that what they were uncovering was real, undeniable, and complete. They knew that accusing, exposing, or moving forward without full clarity would destroy lives unjustly. So they waited. They verified. They dug deeper. And with every step, the truth became heavier. You may have felt this weight indirectly. A tension in conversations. A seriousness that replaced ease. A feeling that something was being held back. This was not emotional distance, it was emotional restraint. Your soulmate was containing a storm so it would not reach you before the ground was ready. At times, they felt isolated. They could not confide in you. They could not fully express their fear. And the loneliness of that silence pressed hard on them. Yet even then, they did not waver. Love does not always speak loudly. Sometimes it stands quietly and absorbs pain so another does not have to. As the case grew, outside pressure increased. Authorities demanded results. Eyes watched every move. Mistakes were not allowed. And still, your soulmate carried an additional burden that no one else knew, the knowledge that the truth, once revealed, would wound you deeply. They questioned whether love would survive this. They questioned whether you would ever look at them the same way. They questioned whether doing the right thing would cost them the connection they cherished most. These questions did not make them weak. They made them honest. Hear this clearly, my child, your soulmate never chose the case over you. They chose truth for you. They chose to remove a hidden danger from your life, even if it meant being misunderstood, blamed, or emotionally distanced in the process. There were moments when they wanted to warn you, to hint, to prepare you. But I held them back. Not to be cruel, but to protect you from partial truth. Partial truth confuses more than it heals. I knew the right moment would come, and until then, silence was mercy. As evidence stacked higher, denial became impossible. The truth was no longer something that could be delayed without consequence. And when your soulmate realized this, something inside them shifted. Fear gave way to resolve. Doubt gave way to strength. They accepted that their role was not to soften the truth, but to deliver it responsibly. This acceptance did not come with peace. It came with grief. Grief for the version of life that would end. Grief for the innocence that would be lost. Grief for the pain you would feel. But grief does not cancel purpose. It deepens it. My child, understand that while you were living your life, your soulmate was fighting an internal war, between love and justice, between protection and honesty. And in the end, they chose the path that would truly protect you, not just emotionally, but spiritually. Because what was hidden near you was not harmless. It was influencing your life in ways you did not see. It was draining your energy, shaping your choices, and standing in the way of your future. Removing it required courage, sacrifice, and unwavering truth. This part ends not with the arrest yet, but with a heavy stillness, the stillness before everything changes. Your soulmate knows what is coming. The truth is ready to surface. And soon, you will understand why all of this had to happen exactly this way. Do not fear what is coming, my child. What is being removed was never meant to walk with you into your future. And the one who stood firm in truth did so because they love you deeply. The storm is close now, but so is clarity. My beloved child, now the moment draws closer when silence can no longer protect, and hidden things begin to surface. This part carries a heavier breath, because it speaks of the turning point, the place where truth steps out of the shadows and demands to be seen, even if it breaks hearts along the way. Your soulmate reached a stage in the case where every line connected perfectly. No loose ends. No unanswered questions. What once felt like a distant possibility had now become a confirmed reality. The truth was clear, solid, and undeniable. And the most painful part was not the crime itself, but the face attached to it, the familiarity, the history, the emotional closeness that made it so hard to accept. They sat alone with the final report in their hands, my child, feeling the weight of destiny pressing down on their chest. Their breathing slowed, not because they were calm, but because their soul was bracing itself. They knew that once they took the next step, there would be no turning back. Lives would change. Bonds would shatter. And your world would never look the same again. In that moment, they whispered your name, not out loud, but inside their heart. They imagined your reaction. The disbelief. The confusion. The hurt. And above all, the question you would ask without words, why didn't I see this? That question alone made their eyes burn with tears they refused to let fall. They wanted to protect you from that pain. They wanted to stand between you and the truth, even if it meant carrying the burden alone. But I reminded them of something important, something you must also hear now. Protecting someone does not mean hiding the truth forever. Sometimes protection means allowing truth to arrive before more damage is done. The person who was about to be detained had been walking too close to your life, influencing you in subtle ways. Conversations that drained you. Advice that confused you. Emotional pressure that never felt quite right. You sensed something was off, my child, but you could not name it. Your spirit felt heavy, but your mind kept justifying it. This is how deception works, it hides behind familiarity. Your soulmate saw what you could not. Not because they were smarter, but because they were positioned differently. They were standing outside the emotional circle, able to see patterns, behaviors, and motives that you were too close to question. And once they saw it clearly, they could not unsee it. As the arrest order was prepared, your soulmate's hands trembled, not with fear of the system, but with fear of your pain. They wondered if you would hate them for their role. They wondered if you would think they betrayed you by allowing someone connected to you to be taken away. These thoughts haunted them deeply. They asked me one last time, is there any other way? And I answered with truth, not comfort, if this remains hidden, it will destroy more than you can imagine. My child, what was uncovered was not a small mistake or misunderstanding. It was something that had been growing quietly, feeding on secrecy and proximity. The longer it stayed near you, the more harm it would have caused, not just externally, but within your spirit. Your joy. Your sense of safety. Your future. The moment the detention happened, the air shifted. You may not have known why, but you felt it. A sudden heaviness. A strange stillness. A feeling like something important had been removed, yet the space it left behind felt painful and empty at the same time. This is what happens when truth interrupts illusion. Your soulmate did not celebrate. There was no sense of victory. Only a deep, aching silence. They stood there watching the consequences unfold, knowing they had done the right thing, yet feeling the cost of it in every heartbeat. This is the price of integrity. It is lonely, even when it is necessary. They did not reach out to you immediately. Not because they didn't care, but because they knew you needed space to process. They knew that if they spoke too soon, their words might sound like justification instead of care. They waited, praying you would one day understand their heart, not just their actions. Meanwhile, you began replaying memories in your mind. Moments that once felt normal now felt strange. Words that once sounded caring now felt manipulative. You started connecting dots that had never aligned before. And with every realization, your chest tightened, not just with shock, but with grief. Grief for trust that was misplaced. Grief for time that cannot be recovered. Grief for a version of reality that never truly existed. I was with you in those moments, my child. When you stared into nothing, questioning your own judgment. When you wondered how someone so close could carry such darkness. I held you when your strength faded and your tears fell without warning. And while you were breaking quietly, your soulmate was breaking too, in a different way. They were grieving the loss of simplicity. The loss of innocence. The loss of a future that would have been easier if truth had not intervened. But ease was never the promise. Growth was. This part of your journey is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to wake you. To sharpen your discernment. To teach you that love without truth is dangerous, and truth without love is cruel, but when both walk together, healing begins. Your soulmate still loves you, my child. Their love did not weaken through this storm, it was tested and proven. They did not run. They did not hide. They stood firm, even when standing firm meant being misunderstood. Soon, there will be a conversation. A moment where words finally replace silence. But before that happens, you must allow yourself to feel everything: anger, sadness, confusion, even doubt. These emotions are not signs of weakness. They are signs that your heart is alive. What was detained was not just a person. It was an influence that had no place in your future. And what remains now is a clearing, even if it hurts. Clearing makes room for truth, for real love, for alignment. This part ends with you standing at the edge of understanding. The shock has not fully settled, but awareness has begun. And as painful as this awakening is, it is also the beginning of freedom. Do not rush your healing, my child. Do not silence your emotions. And do not mistake truth for betrayal. Sometimes, the ones who love us most are the ones who are willing to be strong when everything falls apart. The next part will speak of what comes after the shock, when hearts speak honestly, and destiny begins to realign. My beloved child, now we arrive at the part where the noise slowly fades and the heart begins to speak. This is the space after shock, after disbelief, after the first waves of pain have passed. It is a quiet place, but it is not empty. It is filled with truth waiting to be understood. After the detention, after the truth stepped into the open, you found yourself sitting with emotions that did not have clear names. You were not only hurt. You were not only angry. You were not only confused. You were all of these at once, and more. Some moments you felt strong, as if clarity had finally arrived. Other moments you felt small, wondering how something so close to you could have been so hidden. You questioned yourself deeply. How did I miss the signs? Was my love blind? Can I trust my own judgment again? My child, hear me gently now, you did not fail. Love does not make you foolish. Trust does not make you weak. You were open because your heart was pure, not because your mind was careless. Darkness survives by hiding near light, and this was never your fault. As you were processing all of this, your soulmate was also walking through their own valley. They did not feel relief. They did not feel pride. They felt the heavy silence of consequences. They replayed every decision, every delay, every moment they chose duty over comfort. And even though they knew they did the right thing, their hearts still ached for you. They longed to reach out, to explain everything at once, to hold your pain and take it away. But love that rushes can wound further. So they waited. They gave you the respect of space, trusting that when the moment was right, truth spoken with humility would find its place. And I was working quietly in both of you. In you, I was softening the sharp edges of shock into understanding. I was reminding you of moments that once felt confusing but now made sense. I was strengthening your discernment, helping you see that your intuition had tried to speak many times, even if you did not yet have the language to hear it. In your soulmate, I was humbling their strength. I was reminding them that being right does not mean being distant, and that courage must eventually be paired with vulnerability. I was preparing their heart not to defend themselves, but to open themselves fully to you. Then came the moment you did not plan for but felt approaching. The conversation. It did not begin dramatically. There were no grand speeches, no perfect words. It began softly, with hesitation, with eyes that carried both fear and honesty. Your soulmate did not sit in authority. They did not sit as a hero. They sat as someone who loved you and was willing to be seen completely. They told you everything. Not just the facts of the case, but the nights they couldn't sleep. The moments they wanted the truth to be different. The prayers they whispered asking me to take the burden away. They told you how afraid they were of losing you, how close they came to breaking under the weight of silence. And as you listened, my child, something unexpected happened. Your pain did not disappear, but it changed. You began to see the difference between harm and protection. Between betrayal and responsibility. Between someone who hides to deceive and someone who stays silent to shield. This understanding did not erase your hurt, but it gave it context. And context is the beginning of healing. You were honest too. You told them how small you felt. How shaken your trust had become. Not just in others, but in yourself. You told them how the detention made you question every memory, every laugh, every shared moment with the person who was taken away. You did not hold back your tears, and you did not need to. Your soulmate did not interrupt. They did not explain away your feelings. They listened. Truly listened. Because love that lasts is not proven in control, but in presence. This conversation did not fix everything in one moment. Healing is not instant, my child. It unfolds slowly, like dawn after a long night. But something important shifted. The wall between you softened. The fear of misunderstanding loosened its grip. You began to realize that what was removed from your life was not just a person, but a pattern. A pattern of subtle manipulation. A pattern of emotional drain. A pattern that kept you doubting your own inner voice. And with that pattern gone, even though the emptiness hurt, there was also relief. Your soulmate began to step closer again, not physically at first, but emotionally. With transparency. With patience. With humility. They did not demand forgiveness. They allowed it to grow naturally, at your pace. And I was there, guiding each step. I reminded you that trust is not rebuilt by pretending nothing happened. It is rebuilt by walking through what happened together, honestly and gently. I reminded you that your heart is not broken beyond repair, it is wiser now, stronger, more awake. There were still difficult days. Days when a memory would resurface and your chest would tighten. Days when anger would return without warning. This is normal. Healing does not move in straight lines. And on those days, I held you close, whispering peace into the parts of you that felt tired. My child, something sacred was happening beneath the pain. You were learning to choose truth over comfort. You were learning to value clarity over familiarity. You were learning that real love does not avoid hard paths, it walks them with integrity. And your soulmate was learning too. They were learning that strength does not mean carrying everything alone. That love requires letting yourself be vulnerable, even when you fear judgment. That standing for truth is only complete when you also stand for connection. This part of your journey is about rebuilding, not the old life, but a truer one. A life where nothing hidden has power over you. A life where love and honesty walk side by side. What was exposed had to be exposed, my child. Because what you are stepping into next requires a clean foundation. The future I am preparing for you cannot be built on half-truths or quiet compromises. As this part closes, know this, you are not defined by what shocked you, but by how you rise from it. You are not weakened by the truth, you are aligned by it. And the bond between you and your soulmate, tested by fire, is now capable of becoming something deeper, if you both continue to walk in honesty. The final part will speak of renewal. Of purpose. Of how what felt like an ending becomes a beginning you could not have imagined before. Stay open, my beloved child. I am not finished with your story. My beloved child, this final part is not about what was lost, but about what was saved. It is not about the pain that entered your life, but about the future that was protected because truth was allowed to stand. This is where understanding turns into wisdom, and wounds begin to transform into strength. After everything that happened, after the conversations, the tears, the silence, and the slow rebuilding, you began to notice a quiet change within yourself. It was subtle at first. You felt lighter in moments where heaviness once lived. You breathed deeper. You questioned yourself less. Something that had been weighing on your spirit for a long time, without you even realizing it, had been lifted. The absence left by what was removed from your life was no longer frightening. It became spacious. And in that space, clarity started to grow. You began to trust your inner voice again. Not because everything suddenly felt perfect, but because you could finally hear yourself clearly. The confusion that once clouded your thoughts was gone. Decisions felt calmer. Your emotions felt more honest. This is what happens when deception leaves. Your spirit recognizes freedom before your mind fully understands it. Your soulmate watched this change in you with quiet gratitude. They did not take credit for it. They did not feel pride. They felt relief. Relief that the choice they made, even though it hurt, truly protected you. Relief that you were healing in your own time, in your own way. And something beautiful happened between you. Your connection did not return to what it was before, because what it was before was built under shadows. Instead, it transformed. It became slower, deeper, more intentional. You spoke with more honesty. You listened with more care. Silence no longer felt dangerous, it felt safe. You began to see your soulmate not just as the one who solved the case, but as the one who stood firm when the truth was inconvenient. As the one who chose integrity even when love was at risk. And this realization changed the way you looked at them. Respect grew alongside affection. Trust grew alongside understanding. Love grew alongside truth. My child, I want you to know this clearly. Not everyone who claims to love you is willing to protect your future. Many will protect your comfort, your habits, your illusions. But the one who loves you in truth will protect your destiny, even if it means being misunderstood for a season. Your soulmate was positioned in your life not only to love you, but to stand as a guardian at a critical moment. This was not coincidence. This was alignment. This was purpose unfolding in a way that was painful, but necessary. The high-profile case was never just about justice in the world. It was about justice in your life. What was detained was something that would have eventually caused deeper damage. Damage to your confidence. Damage to your spiritual clarity. Damage to the path I have prepared for you. If it had remained hidden, it would have followed you forward, quietly interfering with your blessings. But now, that path is clear. You may still grieve at times. Grief does not mean you regret the truth. It simply means you are human. Allow those moments. Do not rush them away. Each tear releases something old. Each sigh makes room for something new. Your soulmate understands this now more than ever. They no longer try to be strong in silence. They show up honestly. They allow themselves to be seen, not as perfect, but as real. And this honesty is what allows love to deepen without fear. Together, you are learning a new rhythm. A rhythm built on transparency. A rhythm built on discernment. A rhythm built on mutual respect and spiritual awareness. This experience has sharpened your intuition. You no longer ignore discomfort just to keep peace. You no longer explain away red flags just to feel close. You have learned that peace built on denial is fragile, but peace built on truth is unshakable. My child, this lesson will serve you for the rest of your life. It will protect your heart. It will protect your choices. It will protect the future you are stepping into. And there is more ahead for you than what was taken away. New opportunities will come with clearer intention. New relationships will arrive with cleaner energy. New seasons will open without hidden resistance. As for your soulmate, their role in your life is not finished. What they did not separate you, it refined you both. If you continue to walk together in honesty, patience, and humility, your bond can become a source of strength not just for you, but for others who will one day learn from your story. You will look back at this chapter someday, not with pain, but with gratitude. Gratitude that the truth came when it did. Gratitude that courage showed up when it was needed. Gratitude that love did not run from responsibility. And you will say quietly within yourself, "This could have destroyed me. But instead, it awakened me." That is how I work, my beloved child. I do not promise a life without shock. I promise a life where shock does not have the final word. I do not promise comfort at every step. I promise alignment that leads to peace. What you thought was an ending was actually a protection. What you thought was a betrayal was actually a shield. What you thought was loss was actually redirection. Walk forward now with confidence. Do not look back with fear. The truth has cleared your path, and love, real love, walks beside you. I bless your heart with healing. I bless your mind with clarity. I bless your future with relationships that honor truth. Nothing meant for you has been taken away. Only what could not walk with you into your destiny has been removed. And I am with you, always. My beloved child, this part comes as a continuation, not because the story was incomplete, but because your soul needs deeper anchoring. Some lessons must be spoken again from a higher place, after the storm has passed and the ground has settled. This part is about integration, about how what you lived through becomes wisdom instead of wounds. After everything that unfolded, life slowly returned to a rhythm that felt unfamiliar yet strangely calm. The chaos was gone, but silence remained. And in that silence, you began to notice things about yourself that you had never seen so clearly before. Your reactions changed. Your boundaries strengthened. Your intuition spoke louder, and for the first time, you listened without arguing with it. You realized something important, my child: you were never weak, you were open. And openness is not a flaw, it is a gift that must be protected, not punished. The experience you went through was not meant to close your heart, but to teach it discernment. There were moments when memories surfaced unexpectedly. A place you once visited together. A phrase someone once said that now carried a different meaning. At first, these memories hurt. They made your chest tighten, as if the past was reaching out to pull you back into confusion. But slowly, something shifted. The memories lost their power to wound. They became lessons instead of triggers. That is healing. Healing is not forgetting. Healing is remembering without bleeding. Your soulmate noticed this transformation in you. They saw how you no longer shrank when uncomfortable truths appeared. They saw how you asked questions with calm instead of fear. And they understood that what you went through did not damage you, it refined you. This brought a new depth into your connection. You both became more intentional with words. You no longer spoke just to fill silence. You spoke to understand. When disagreements came, they were not battles, they were conversations. You no longer avoided difficult topics, because you had learned that avoidance is where problems grow roots. My child, this is maturity of the soul. The experience also changed how you see people. You stopped assuming everyone's intentions were pure just because they were familiar. You stopped giving unlimited access to those who had not earned your trust. This was not bitterness, it was wisdom. You learned that closeness must be balanced with clarity. And I smiled when I saw this, because this is exactly what I was preparing you for. There are blessings ahead of you that require strong discernment. There are doors that will open only if you can recognize what belongs and what does not. Had this lesson not come when it did, you might have carried old patterns into new seasons, and those seasons would have suffered. What was exposed was not meant to humiliate you. It was meant to liberate you. Your soulmate, too, changed through this journey. They became softer, more emotionally present. They no longer hid behind responsibility or strength. They learned that being strong does not mean being silent, and being honest does not mean being harsh. They learned to trust you with their fears. This mutual vulnerability became the new foundation between you. Not perfection. Not control. But honesty. And from that honesty, peace began to grow. There were days when you both laughed again, genuine laughter, not forced normalcy. Moments where joy returned without guilt. You stopped asking yourselves whether it was too soon to be happy. You understood that joy is not disrespectful to pain, it is proof that pain did not win. My child, you are allowed to move forward. You are allowed to love again without constantly checking for danger. You are allowed to trust yourself again. You are allowed to feel safe in clarity. The past does not get to define your future simply because it once hurt you. As time passed, you noticed how your energy changed. People who once drained you no longer lingered. Situations that once confused you resolved themselves quickly. This is what happens when your inner world aligns with truth, your outer world adjusts accordingly. You stopped attracting chaos because you no longer entertained it. This alignment is powerful. I want you to understand something very important. Not everyone gets the gift of truth before irreversible damage is done. Many live entire lives surrounded by deception, never knowing why they feel empty or blocked. But you were interrupted. Not punished, interrupted. And that interruption saved you from years of silent harm. That is grace. Your soulmate's role in this was not accidental. Some people are placed in our lives not just to love us, but to protect us at critical crossroads. Their courage changed the direction of your story. And your willingness to face truth ensured that the lesson did not go to waste. Together, you stepped into a higher level of partnership, one that is not based on fantasy, but on awareness. There will still be challenges ahead, my child. Love does not remove life's complexities. But now, you face them with open eyes and a steady heart. You no longer confuse intensity with depth, or familiarity with safety. You know better now. And because you know better, you will choose better. This part of your journey is about honoring how far you have come. Do not minimize your growth. Do not rush past this season. Let it settle into you fully. Let it shape how you love, how you choose, how you trust. One day, you will look back at this entire chapter and realize something profound. The case that shook your life also aligned it. The truth that hurt you also healed you. The exposure that scared you also strengthened you. That is how I work, my beloved child. I take what the enemy meant for harm, and I turn it into discernment. I take what was hidden, and I turn it into clarity. I take what almost broke you, and I turn it into wisdom. Stand tall now. You are not the same person who began this journey, and that is a blessing. I am proud of how you faced the truth. I am proud of how you chose growth over denial. I am proud of how you allowed healing to take its time. Carry this wisdom forward. Protect your heart without closing it. Love deeply, but wisely. Trust, but with awareness. Your future is brighter because your foundation is clean. And I walk with you, always.